Hi, so I'm back again talking about my 12-year-old curriculum picks. This is going to be a really short video because she is going into year 8 and she is working towards her functional skills level 1. The way she's doing this is with a tutor. So she's doing functional skills level 1 English, functional skills level 1 maths, and she's doing that with her tutor. At the moment, there's not a lot of input from me. When the time comes, we will be giving her all the help and revision help and everything we can, but right now it's not necessary. That is not the only English she does, or only maths, but the other English and maths she does is sort of based off her own interest. So she is a really brilliant poet and writer, and it's a passion of hers. So as for that, I'm not concerned. Now, she does have hypermobility and she is PDA, autistic, ADHD. She has a lot of things going on. So handwriting for her has always been a tough thing. So if you saw my morning basket video for her, I go through everything that we are using in our morning basket. Our morning basket is the time we spend together one-on-one, and we get loads done, loads of good work done. On top of that, she does unit studies. But if I just briefly take you through things that are kind of English based in her morning basket. So just like my 8-year-old, she loves these Mad Libs. Obviously this isn't going to last the year. I just got them both, picked them both one up. So she'll have this funny fill-in, and again, we'll just pick them up as and when. She also has the mindfulness journey for teens. I'm going to be really brief because I've gone through this in her morning basket, but this includes writing. We also have a few word games, and the one she's picked at the moment for the morning basket is a little wordy. It has lots of mentions of just consonants, vowels, that kind of thing, and thinking of long words, vocabulary, that kind of thing. That's all good English knowledge. We have also got lots of different activities in this social survival book, not necessarily English based, but encouraging communication, I guess you could say. We've also got, I'm working through this Mightier Than the Sword: Rebels, Reformers and Revolutionaries Who Changed the World Through Writing. Now, this is a beautiful book about writers, and we've only just started it because it took forever to come. But at the end of each writer, and so this is the one she's going to be doing today because we've just started it. So I'll say I've read this with her. I don't expect her to write what is said here and now during our morning basket. She can go off and share with me if she wants. There's a lot of trust. I believe it that she'll do it in her own time. So this writer, in the Japanese writers of this time, wrote a form of poetry called waka or tanka, which is like a sonnet. The tanka starts with 3 lines, 5, 7 and 5 syllables. And then the last 2 lines both have 7 syllables, and now that's called a haiku, without the last 2 lines. And so it was to encourage her to sort of write her own haiku or tanka poem. She loves poetry, so she might just go on and do this off her own back, but that's another thing that she will do as and when we come across a good activity. The other thing for English and literature, she reads loads. Like I said, she loves reading, writing, so she reads loads in her own time. But also we are just about to start this novel study, which I mentioned with my 8-year-old, him as well, from Homeeduk way, and that will take us about 6 to 7 weeks, and it's a 5-day-a-week unit study on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. She'll read it independently, I'll read it with my 8-year-old, and then we'll come together for the activities, and there's different writing activities every day. So that's another bit of English she'll be doing. And then There's one other thing I wanted to mention. Night zookeeper. All 3 of my children have night zookeeper and she loves it. So she uses that. I will also just mention, because I think it's just another fun book. We have this book, The Scholastic Dictionary of Idioms. And again, I shared this in her morning basket. But for each idiom, it has an example, a meaning, and the origin. So that's just a fun thing to learn about the English language. And then maths is a bit more of a tricky one. She has never really loved maths. She's come on so far with her tutor. It's been really brilliant. She has access to kind of like BBC Bite Size, different online apps and things that she can use in her own time, and she does tend to just do it in her own time. We encourage her as much as we can. You will know if you've got a demand avoid child that you need to do it in a really sensitive way, and just praise them when they do learning, because they do so much learning independently. The other thing I'll mention about maths is that we have currently been doing a money unit study. So there's been tons of maths in that, and it will crop up here and there. So that money unit study is kind of what we're going to do the next week or 2, and then we'll move into our novel study. So the only other thing I'll mention is we have quite a few games like this, these logic ones. I mentioned for my 8-year-old, he's got some, and this is another thing that she kind of does when she sat with me. Art-wise, I've not got it here, but she's been loving the sequin art pictures, and she's been doing that while we do our morning basket. And then she's got a few other things that she can sit and do. She's again a really wonderful artist and loves arts and crafts, so she does a lot independently, but also she's been doing a lot of jewellery making classes. So over the summer she's been doing about once a week. She goes, but then she has all the tools and stuff she needs at home to do that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we do with her. She obviously gets involved as well with like the money games and everything with her brothers. She also has Duolingo. So that's another thing she does independently. I think she's learning Russian at the moment, but I'd have to check. Yeah, so she does that. Oh, I haven't mentioned her history. So the only other thing we do together. Now, sometimes we do it in our morning basket if we've got more time, but I try to get this done about twice a week, history. And we're using the History for Common Entrance. This is the second book in the series. She's now in year 8, but we've been doing this for quite a while now. I'm just checking. I think we're on like chapter 2 now. Again, because we year round, we just kind of go. When we're ready to move on, we move on. We don't need to wait for anything. So this is the year 1485 to 1750, and it's titled The Making of the UK. So I have the student book, and then I also have the answer book. Now, I mentioned her writing. I don't expect her to write the answers out. That's not what we do. If it can be verbally discussed, we'll do that. If I feel that she could type it out, she'll type it out on my tablet, and then I've just got it folded, and if I needed to print it, I could. Or if it's like matching the dates, instead of getting her to handwrite it out, I just let her draw it with a pencil to match the dates. And if I keep these for my other children, I'll just get them to rub it out, but there'll likely be newer versions by then. So yeah, she's been finding this actually really interesting. Then for the end of each chapter, there is always a bite size matching that kind of period in time, so she can go and do the quiz, that kind of thing. Not as a test really, but it just kind of reassures me that she's taken some of that information in, and it's always fun because it's like, who are you in history, and asks personal questions and stuff, and it's kind of can be quite funny. But yeah, that's her history, so she does different to the boys. I don't know whether I'll match them up, but just because this matches the English curriculum, I feel like it's worth sticking with it. Oh, and the other thing for history is well, two things. She does on this day in history, so we do this every time we have the morning basket. I guess this is history, dictionary of dinosaurs. And the final area, which we weren't sure whether we were going to do unit study or how we were going to do it, but she's decided in her morning basket, is this Usborne Big Subjects for Beginners. So this one has philosophy, politics, business, economics and money. We're using money in our money unit study, obviously. I got the big pack because it worked out way cheaper and I thought the others would be interesting. And we're just working through. We've started with, I've got it out actually. We started with philosophy because that's what she wanted to do. And I just read that to her and we have lots of good discussions about what we've read. If she wants to deep dive into anything, she then can in her own time or with my help. And that's pretty much it for her. The only other thing for logic, because I mentioned that one game, just noticed this as well, is she's really into the Lord of the Rings at the moment. So we got Exit the Game and she loves these. And again, if we need to get more, we'll get more as the year goes on, or for Christmas, that kind of thing. But yeah, that's everything. Again, I mentioned in my other curriculum pick videos, I am hoping to do a video on the unit studies that we're going to be doing or aiming to do through the year, so look out for that. And yeah, that's everything. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this has been useful to you, and please suggest or ask questions about anything to do with curriculum picks. I'd love to hear your opinions, and what you guys do with your children. Thanks so much.